College football analyst gives Ohio State no chance to beat the Texas Longhorns in their Week 1 matchup. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kangaroo Black, coming back once again to talk about the Week 1 matchup between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Texas Longhorns, in which one college football analyst is giving Ohio State zero chance of beating the Texas Longhorns. Now, Texas, they got to go on the road to Columbus, Ohio, in an attempt to take down these Ohio State Buckeyes, the defending national champions. Now, shout out to ScarletandGame.com for this article. So if you're a Texas Longhorn fan or Ohio State Buckeye fan, you can go over there and read it for yourself. Once again, ScarletandGame.com. College football pundit gives Ohio State football no chance to beat Texas for one big reason. The Ohio State football team starts the season against Texas, and one pundit doesn't believe they have much of a chance to win that game. Now, in my opinion, I already told y'all many times that I got Ohio State winning this game. I do. I just believe they're going to win this game Week 1. The Ohio State football team does not start the 2025 season with a cupcake schedule like a lot of SEC programs do. They open up with last year's SEC runner-up, the Texas Longhorns. This will be the second straight game in which the Longhorns take on the Ohio State Buckeyes after falling to them in the Cotton Bowl. Both of these teams are likely going to be preseason top 3 teams in the polls. The Buckeyes are the defending national champions, so they feel very confident that they can beat Texas again, despite the fact that they will have 15 new starters on this year's team. 15 new starters. That is a lot of new faces. We'll get into that in a minute. While the Buckeyes feel great about taking on Texas at home, one college football pundit does not. Brad Crawford of CBS Sports doesn't believe the Buckeyes have much of a chance to win the game. He believes Ohio State loses the first game of the year. Crawford cites the fact that the Buckeyes will have 2 new coordinators and a new starting quarterback as the 2 biggest reasons why they will lose to the Longhorns. Those certain are valid points, but the offensive coordinator situation isn't as worrisome as the DC issue. Offensive coordinator Brian Hartline. Brian Hartline been with the Ohio State Buckeyes for a lot of years. As a matter of fact, he's been with the Ohio State Buckeyes since 2017. He was the offensive coordinator in 2023. And last year, 2024, he was the co-offense coordinator and wide receivers coach. Coming into the 2025 season, he's been promoted back to the offensive coordinator, and he's also the wide receiver coach. They lost the offensive coordinator last season, as the article stated, and they lost the defensive coordinator also. Now, as the defensive coordinator, they got Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia is not a pushover. Matt Patricia learned from the greatest NFL coach of all time, Bill Belichick. And Bill Belichick is one of the greatest defensive minds in the game when he was an NFL coach. Now he's at North Carolina. Okay, so, and Brian Hartline, not Brian Hartline, but Matt Patricia got 3 Super Bowls under his belt, 2 as a defensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. So this offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator ain't a pushover. Just want to put that out there. All right. But anyway, this college football pundit, Brad Crawford, ain't giving Ohio State a chance. And that is sad. Now, Ohio State, I know they're going to have a lot of new starters. Okay. But they got people coming back also. Probably the greatest wide receiver in all of college football, Jeremiah Smith. probably the greatest decent defensive back in all of college football, Caleb Downs. He possibly could be the best defensive player in the country. Who knows? But I'm quite sure he's probably the best defensive back in the country. All right. They also got James Peoples coming back, who will be taking over the starting role at running back. He was one of their backups last season. As I said, Jeremiah Smith, best wide receiver in college football. They also got Carnell Tate coming back. All right. I think Carnell Tate, this man had over 700 yards receiving with 4 touchdowns. Not bad numbers. He'll be back. Okay. So they got 2 of their starting receivers coming back from last season. So that's not bad. So they got some people coming back. As I said, safety, Caleb Downs. The offensive line, man. 1, 2, they got 3 returning starters for that offensive line. So they got some people's coming back. They got a couple of linebackers coming back. So you're going to see a lot of new faces for Ohio State, but you also going to see some old faces that was there last season. You can't just say Ohio State has no chance because they got 2 new coordinators and a new starting quarterback, or first-year starting quarterback. Whether it's Julian Sain or the other guy that's vying for the job, I think it's going to be Julian Sain. But y'all got to remember, Julian Sain was a 5-star just like Arch Manning was. I know all 5 stars are not the same. I just want to point out the fact that Julian Sain was a 5-star too. As a matter of fact, Julian Sain was the number 2 quarterback in his class. At one time, he was the number 1 quarterback. Him and I think it was Dylan Raiola was vying for that number 1 quarterback in the class. But Julian Sain, I believe, was the number 2 when he came out of high school. At one time, he was the number 1. But hey, it is what it is. Julian Sain, I think, going to be a pretty good quarterback in his own right. I'm not saying he's going to be better than Arch Manning. He don't have to be better than Arch Manning. I'm just saying, I think he's going to be a pretty good quarterback for those Ohio State Buckeyes. Thank Nick Saban in Alabama for him, Ohio State fans. And thank us for Caleb Downs, too. Just want to put that out there. But anyway, I think Ohio State going to be a pretty good team. I think they're going to give Texas one hell of a game. I think they're going to win it. And then to move on, it is plausible that Ohio State loses the opening game, even though they get Texas at home. The Longhorns have been stewing all offseason about the loss to the Buckeyes last season, and they have revenge on their mind. They want to get that sour taste out of their mouths. How well will the Buckeyes be able to get after Arch Manning? And the offense is going to be key to them winning this game. If the defensive line plays well, they should be able to win this game and start the 2025 season on the right foot. Now, let's talk about Texas a little bit. Arch Manning, we know he's the face of the program. We know he's a lot of the reason that Texas is getting all this hype going into 2025, along with other players. But he's the main reason. Arch Manning in a backup role threw for over 900 yards, 9 touchdowns. Matter of fact, I think he had a couple of touchdown rushing too. We know that. But it is a lot different between being a starter and a backup. It's a lot different. And can Arch Manning embrace this role and be that superstar that everybody think he can be? It remains to be seen. I think he can. But to put all this hype and prestige on him before he actually does anything, I think it's crazy. I'm the wait and see guy in this situation. But I think Arch Manning going to do pretty good. As I talked about Ohio State and who all they got coming back, Texas got quite a few players coming back themselves. Like Trey Moore and Ethan Burke on the defensive side of the ball. Ethan Burke ain't no joke. They also got Jaden Blue and Jonte Cook coming back. at running back. Ryan Wingo coming back at wide receiver. Man, as I said, Trey Moore, Ethan Burt. Man, linebacker Anthony Hill Jr., he'll be back. So they got a lot coming back too. But the offensive line for Texas will be a revamped offensive line. And that is fact. And that's what kind of scares me. Texas, they returning basically the whole staff. They don't have a turnover with their offensive and defensive coordinator. So that is good. As I said, like Ohio State, first year starting quarterback for both teams. So you just can't say. I mean, you need to look at this first year starting quarterbacks in the same light. A lot of people might say, well, Julian's saying he ain't no Arch Manning. How do you know that? How do you know? That's my question. That is my question. Like I said, both of them was 5 stars. You can't just count Ohio. You saying that the defending national champions have no chance in game 1. Yeah, you gave valid reasons. Then really the only reason you have is the fact that Ohio State have 2 new coordinators. All right, that's the only thing you got to say that. And I'm telling you, these coordinators ain't no joke, man. I'm telling you, man. Brian Hartline, a guy that have been with the program that long, he knows the system in and out. Who's already been an offensive coordinator for them. He know this system. The only issue with Ohio State is Michigan. That's the only issue they have. One thing about it, a lot of people, including me, was clowning Ryan Day saying he couldn't win the big game. Am I right? Yes, we were. A lot of Ohio State fans wanted Ryan Day fired before he won that national championship. They wanted him fired after they lost to Michigan. And just a few weeks later, he won a national championship. Proved that he could win the big game. I would think that the national championship is the biggest game of them all. I would think that. It's certainly bigger than a damn rivalry game against Michigan. Michigan fans might not think so, but it is. And Ryan Day proved he can win the big game by winning a national championship. Okay, you look at Steve Sarkisian, he haven't proven that he can win the big game. He has not. He lost in the playoffs. Both years he done got there. First game, was it the first game against Washington in 2023, first game of the playoffs, and then last year against Ohio State. So, hey, Steve Sarkisian hasn't proven that he can win the big game. He hasn't proven that he could get to the big game, which is the national championship. Ryan Day have. That's all I know. That's something else that works in Ohio State's favor. Just to put that out there. So, hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I got Ohio State winning this game. That's just me. And if I left out anything else, y'all let me know. Because I pretty much think I covered everything. Ryan Day has proven that he can win the big game. Steve Sarkisian has not. And plus this game, another advantage for Ohio State, this game is in Columbus, Ohio. Now, Texas fans, when you lose or if you lose, I don't want to hear no excuses. None. Because all I'm going to tell you is Ohio, y'all lost to a team with 2 new coordinators. That's what I'm going to tell you. Since this guy seems like it's going to be a problem. I'm going to also tell you, you lost to a team with a quarterback not named Arch Manning. Because you're going to lose to a team with a quarterback named Julian Sane. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to hear no excuses. None. So I got Ohio State winning the game week 1. I could be wrong. I can't give you no score prediction. I think the score is going to be close though. But hey, it is what it is, man. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this game and this guy, this college football analyst, Brad Crawford of CBS Sports, not giving Ohio State a chance in hell against the Texas Longhorns. So, in my opinion, those Texas Longhorns is overhyped. That's just me. But hey, it is what it is. But y'all give me your comments. Leave your comments in the comment section. Tell me what y'all think. But until then, y'all be blessed. And remember, KB don't give a piss about nothing but the tide. And roll damn tide.